I had a clever intro and I forgot it. What's up, everybody? Coach Rob here. This is one of those videos where I kind of just walked into my office after working with clients on the workout floor, turned on the light, turned on all the shit, and started talking. I wanted to give you an update about the No Carbs Till Christmas 23-day Carnivore Challenge. And for me, that started really the Monday after Thanksgiving. We actually had our family's Thanksgiving on Friday, not Thursday. That was the only way we could get everybody together. And then, so obviously, as mentioned, I had some deliberate dietary transgressions on Thanksgiving. The aforementioned my wife's badass stuffing. I had some other various, traditional Thanksgiving fare, if you will, a couple of bites of a few desserts, whatever. And then, of course, there's the leftovers that I nibbled on a little bit the next day. And I really jumped in hard that Monday, which was a few days before the 1st. So technically, before the challenge started, the challenge technically was the 1st of December to the 23rd. That's what the challenge is. So I've been on about, 10 days. I don't know. The only changes that I personally made from what I would typically do on my carnivore diet that I've been doing, for the past year would be is I've eliminated all pre-workout carbs. And as you know, if you've watched any of this stuff, I will occasionally do some pre-workout carbs, a small amount right before I train, about 30 minutes prior, sometimes even like 15, 20 minutes prior. And I will have something like some rice-based carbohydrate, 18 to 25 grams. That could be like a rice cake and just a tiny drizzle of honey. Sometimes it's a tiny amount of cream of rice, maybe with some protein powder spooned in, which is a cool thing. Sometimes it's something as simple as a cyclic dextrin powder supplement, something along those lines. I have had no pre-workout carbohydrates throughout the entire challenge, and I plan to not have any throughout the entire 23 plus days for me. And so far, I've done extremely well on that. I've also, and I'm not saying I won't, but I wanted to keep my carb content as low as humanly possible for the challenge, just to kind of see how I feel, what happens, just kind of, run with that. So the other thing that I've eliminated so far is I haven't had any of my full-fat, sugar-free Greek yogurt, because even plain Greek yogurt does have roughly 6 grams per serving, which is no big freaking deal if you tolerate dairy. If you tolerate lactose, okay, which I do just fine. But I have eliminated that because I'm really trying to push it hard to stay under that 10-gram carbohydrate count throughout the entire challenge. And so far, that has been absolutely freaking completely easy for me. Thank God. So no pre-workout carbs, no Greek yogurt. I have been literally living off of a lot of red meat, a lot of ground beef, steak. I've continued on doing a ton of eggs. I love eggs, sometimes a dozen a day. A little bit of chicken. I've had one of my favorite meals that we have at home is chicken legs that we just drench in grass-fed butter and spices, a little bit of garlic, and my wife will roast or bake or whatever you call it in the oven in those white, tray Corningware dishes or whatever. She'll make a shitload of those things and cook them for hours, and just eat them with your hands. They're fantastic. It's one of my favorite meals. So I've had a lot of chicken legs, some chicken thighs. One of my other favorites is you get a big nasty ribeye and you put some crumbled blue cheese on top of it. After you cook the steak and it's still rare but hot, you put on a bunch of blue cheese, pop that in the oven under the broiler for just a couple of minutes, let that melt on top and brown just a tad. It's amazing. It's one of my favorites. Had a lot of that, and as far as little things that I might nibble on, I might have a piece of goat cheese or aged cheese. I might have a little dollop. Love that word. full fat sour cream, sometimes over some ground beef, sometimes on top of a steak or whatever. And that's really it. I still drink coffee. Don't come after me. I like coffee. And, oh, by the way, in everything that I cook, it's pretty much grass-fed butter is pretty much always just a given. Just a given. If I'm cooking ground beef or eggs or chicken or shrimp or seafood, whatever, it's going to be drenched in grass-fed butter because butter is amazing. It's phenomenal for you, and it makes everything taste better. So lots of grass-fed butter on the menu. So I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, so that is pretty much been my diet, and I would have to tell you it was on day 5 after I'd, sort of come off of, the dietary carbohydrate overload coma from the Thanksgiving holiday. It was about day 4 or 5 that I woke up and I was like, I'm in my zone. I feel amazing. I was dragging a little bit on the first 2 or 3 days, my body just sort of expelling that, making that shift over again. I believe it was day 4. I was like cruising. I feel great. I could definitely feel the reduced inflammation in my body. Everything felt great. No joint pain, no joint distress. Flew out of bed, slept like a baby. Performance in the gym was on point. No energy crashes throughout the day. Didn't feel like, because I get up at 3:34 a.m. every day to be at the gym early. And oftentimes, if I'm consuming too much carbohydrate, my body tells me with the fluctuations in energy and mental acuity later in the day. I've had none of that. So the typical things that you often hear from somebody who jumps on a carnivore, keto, animal-based diet, that shit happens. And it's far more noticeable to me now that I've went to what I believe is the apex of a ketogenic diet, which is a carnivore diet. I think for me, it's the pinnacle. It is the final form of what I feel is the most species appropriate diet for humans. And I'm loving it. It works well for me. Is it for everybody? No, it's not. There are some people out there that just are not going to freaking do it. I talked about it on the Liver King video. If you haven't seen that, I'll try to throw it up there. It's up there. The point is what the Liver King did, as I talk about in the video, is he took things to such an extreme that he knew most people weren't going to do it, and that they would then opt for the supplement that he happens to own and manufacture and sell at a ridiculous markup, therefore $100 million in a very short amount of time. Boom, charlatan. Well, the thing is not everybody's going to do a carnivore diet. We are a minority. I hate to tell you that. We just are. I live in rural North Carolina, okay? You walk into the freaking Walmart here, and very quickly you're among the minority. There are no freaks in that room, okay? I talk to people till I'm blue in the face when asked about the benefits of an animal-based diet, about what I feel are the harmful long-term effects of a plant-based or vegan diet. Obviously, the harmful and long-term effects of a standard American diet or a Western diet. And I know, because you can see it, the feedback you get, that, very few people that come within your space are going to jump on to just eating carnivore foods, animal-based foods. And that's okay. We have to realize that we're not going to win this war, at least not in my lifetime. But every little battle that you can win is going to be of benefit to that one person. It's like, that makes sense. I love those conversations. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone ringer off. That's what that noise was. It'll go off again in a second. Just excuse it. I love it when I have those conversations with people and I sort of delicately, easily, bullet point walk through my personal reasoning as to why I truly feel that an animal-based carnivore diet, a ketogenic diet, is the apex of human nutrition, the final form, the best way, eat ancestrally. And I love it when you get that occasional person that's just like, that makes sense. I get that. I had that conversation this morning with a physician, a retired surgeon, who was never taught any of this stuff, that has been eating lots of carbohydrate matter. And he was told that he needed to lose weight. He was told that he needed to pay better attention to his nutrition. And when I started walking him through just the minor bullet point details of a carnivore diet, I did it in a way to where I basically said, this is what I do. This is what works for me. This is what has also worked for others that I have worked with. And here is why. And he had no choice but to say, that makes logical sense. Now, is he going to go home and start a carnivore diet? No idea. We didn't take it that far. But I will see him again. And if he wants to further that conversation, then that's a step in the right direction. And maybe we can lead him down that road. But I know that the majority of people are not going to do it. I have a carnivore, I do carnivore coaching. You wouldn't believe the number of people that jump on board so enthusiastic and even come back and say, man, I'm feeling good. Cravings have subsided. My joint pain's gone away. My energy and focus has improved. My performance is looking good. I've lost 6-7 pounds, and then freaking abandon it. They abandon it for whatever reason. Some people say it's just not sustainable for me and my family. And oftentimes it's the family element that gets in the way. Oftentimes it's a husband that is resistant, or a wife that is resistant, or a significant other, or a partner, or whatever, which is a shame that that partner, that husband, that wife, that boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, can't just acknowledge that what they're doing is working well for them and they enjoy that, and I need to coexist with them the best I can, or maybe give it a shot for 30 days. It's a shame that that doesn't happen more often. And what really drives me up the wall is when someone says, I can't do that diet as much as I'd like to because I've got kids. Why on earth, if you believe that an ancestral way of eating, a carnivore diet, an animal-based diet, whatever the case may be, might just be the way to go to cure or alleviate metabolic disruptions, to change your body composition, to change all of these things for the better, but it's still okay to keep poisoning your kids with Pop-Tarts and cereals and breads and sugars and shit? Never made sense to me, but I can only do so much as a coach. You can only do so much in conversation for the people around you, your loved ones, your family members, your friends, the people you stumble across who want to know more about what you're doing. So yeah, we're part of a small, unique group. In this culture we live in today, we're being inundated and indoctrinated into the system that is run by big food, big pharma, our corrupt government. Everybody, they're all in cahoots with this agenda, even pushing this ridiculous plant-based agenda, which is destroying people. I know it. Hopefully you know it. But it's a powerful, powerful faction. And the only thing we can do is live grassroots and spread this message organically. Yeah, in some ways, we're like this bizarre but positive little cult. And so be it. We're not going to turn the entire world into carnivores. It's not going to happen. So we have to just locally and organically, where we can, spread this message and help people out. And that's what I do with my coaching. Soon I'm going to be launching a new coaching service where I'm just going to do 90-minute video consultations. Because something that I've learned, because I paid attention, especially in the last couple of years, is that sometimes you just need to have a conversation with people. And beyond the numbers, beyond the figures, beyond the macros, beyond the percentages, beyond the programs, beyond the reps and the weights and the sets, sometimes you just need to sit down and talk out a game plan, lay some framework, and you'll have all of these aha moments like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Or tell me what you're doing. Tell me the struggles and the challenges that you're having. How do you feel? And then wait for a response. Sometimes two human beings just need to come together, or small groups tribally, and need to just have a conversation and talk shit out. So that's what I want to do, and that's coming. Stay tuned for that. So sometimes you have to have those conversations with other people and understand that most of these people are going to jump the fence and leave the herd because they've been so brainwashed, indoctrinated, and they're so addicted, both physiologically and mentally, to this garbage that is destroying them and polluting them, that cessation of that or making a dramatic wholesale change from that is going to be very, very difficult. So you better just keep, coaxing the squirrel to come nibble out of your hand. So anyway, that went way off track, but this challenge has been cool, and I think it's come at a right time based on the feedback that I've been getting from people. Hey, this is great. It's given me direction. It's given me discipline, between these bookend holidays of Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then right after Christmas, you got New Year's. Everybody's getting hammered, eating a bunch of shit, partying. God, bring on January the 2nd. But anyway, the challenge is going very, very well. I have had a influx of new gold clients. The gold coaching package is my best coaching package. Gives people training, nutrition, monthly video check-ins, all this stuff. So I'm very fortunate to be, really working with a lot of people one-on-one online, and that's been a huge, huge blessing in my life. Thank you if you're one of those that just came on board. And I think real good is happening in this space. I think, every day when I turn on YouTube and I just look at my feed and see the things coming in, that I don't think there's a day that goes by I don't see some new influencer out there or just contributor out there who is now spending the bulk of their time talking about this way of eating or a way of training that coincides with what you and I are doing. And it's good to see that the message is truly spreading. So it's also especially great to see, men and women who have, MDs, who have pulled away from the indoctrination of factory medicine and taken a hard right turn and are now spreading the message organically about the benefits of animal-based, carnivore, ketogenic diets. So it's a cool time. You see the shift. You see people waking up in various ways to the lies and the agendas and the bullshit and the corruption out there. It's such a good time. I really hope that continues. And it takes people at all levels, just at the local level, to keep spreading this message, to help people, to cure people, to awaken people to what they can do to be better. Anyway, I hope you're doing the challenge. Hell, start it now. We still got quite a bit of time left in the month. You can jump on board right now and do the challenge. Jump into the Ketogenic Bodybuilding Facebook group. I've got a food list in the files section. Jump in, ask to be a member. You'll be approved very quickly by one of our lovely and talented admins. And then join the conversation. There's an official thread going in there. Check that out. Follow me on Instagram at Rob Goodwin Official. I'm posting regular updates about my carnivore and training journey there as well. And Twitter is cool again. I'm on Twitter. I already got kicked off once. Hopefully it won't happen again. Things have seem to be cool there now, where you're allowed to have an open and honest exchange of ideas. So that is Coach Rob Goodwin on Twitter. All the links are below. But anyway, I just wanted to turn on the camera and talk to you guys, see how the challenge is going, tell you what's going on in my little universe. Hope everything's going awesome. So I'll let you get back to whatever it is you were doing. Thanks for your support. Hit the subscribe button. Look at the fine companies that help support this channel and my cause, and support them. And until next time, You know what to do. Train hard, diet harder, but above all else, no matter what, do whatever it takes to have a great freaking day. See ya.